welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video. It is going to be all of my 2022 makeup empties. I have 77 makeup empties that I finished off in the year of 2022 that I will be sharing with you overhead style today. A little bit disappointing compared to the last 2 years. So in 2020, I finished 104 makeup products, and in 2021, I finished 108 makeup products. At least that's what I have according to my spreadsheets. I swear I had finished off, like, I feel like my number was higher last year, but I could be wrong. And I'm just going by what's on my spreadsheet and what information I have. But I finished off 77 makeup products this year, which I am still really proud of, still really happy with. I am hoping in 2023 I can cross that 100 product threshold again, and that is going to be by hopefully bringing in significantly less makeup into my collection this year and just using what I already have. I sound like a broken record at this point, but I did not wear makeup nearly as much in 2022 I did the previous 2 years, so that's part of it. And I've already worn makeup so much in the beginning of 2023, so I'm super excited to share my empties with you guys. It'll be overhead style, like I said. I do have a video that I am planning where I am reflecting on the last 3 years and my makeup consumption. So in that video I will share empties per category and compare the 3 years, so keep an eye out for that video. But if you're interested in seeing the makeup products that I personally have finished off in 2022, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's get into my 2022 makeup empties. All right, you guys, here are all 77 of my makeup empties all laid out. Looking over my empties, it's crazy. It reminds me of how long of a year 2022 personally felt for me. Like, looking at some of these empties, I'm like, I do not remember finishing that this year. That literally feels like years ago that I finished that. And then looking at this, some of the categories that, like, mascara kind of surprised me. I feel like in years past I've finished so many more mascaras, but then I look at all my setting sprays and I'm like, dang, I went through a lot of setting spray this year. But this is an overview of all of my empties, and we will go through everything one by one. So we can start with the foundation. So I did end up finishing 7 foundations this year. I did finish the Dior Forever Skin Glow. I do want to buy this again, but I'm just slightly nervous that it is going to be not the same, not as good. The new formula isn't going to be as good. I also have the Pat McGrath Sublime Foundation, or Sublime Perfection Foundation. This, not a favorite of mine. So happy that I emptied this out, spent so much money on it, and didn't love this one. By the way, I'm in the process of both dyeing my hair, so if you're noticing, like, this weird coloring, and then also self-tanning, so ignore, there's more hair dye. Ignore all that. I have the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator. This was a product I really loved in 2020, but very happy to have finished this year. I also purchased the Tarte C Hydroflex foundation in 2020, or the serum foundation in 2020, and finished this year. Very happy about that. The Herborian CC cream, definitely a favorite and something that I do plan to purchase again at some point this year as we get closer probably to the spring and summer, just because it's a product that I use more spring summer. But it's such a perfect no makeup foundation, or like CC cream, that's just going to even your skin out, and it's so beautiful. Definitely a favorite of mine. When the heck did I finish my L'Oreal Pro Glow? I can't remember. Like, it feels like years ago that I finished my last L'Oreal Pro Glow. I was like, what? But I guess I finished this off. I've gone through like at least 6 of these. This used to be an absolute favorite of mine. Haven't repurchased it. I have so many other foundations. I do still think this is a great one from the drugstore, but I don't see myself repurchasing it, at least in the near future. And then I also finished up the Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation. This is almost double the size of a regular foundation. There was like 1.6 ounces of product in this. It was definitely getting old, and I'm very happy that I was able to finish this off. Next up, we can just move right into these 4 liquid liners. I finished 4 liquid liners this year. I had the NYX Epic Ink. I have another one of these already in my collection. I really like this. A really good drugstore liquid liner, or even like drugstore or high-end. I love the NYX one. I have this one, which I believe was from Josephine. All of the lettering has worn off. I also have the Urban Decay Perversion, which I really liked, but I feel like this one dried up so quickly that I would not purchase this again. And then I also have the Ciate London Fierce Flicks, which was also good, but I just think the NYX Epic Ink is such a good one at a drugstore price, so I'd rather just purchase that. It works just fine, does everything I need my black liquid liner to do. So I have 10 empty mascaras. Mascara is a product that I like to, I typically have 3 to 4 mascaras open at a time. I like to cocktail my mascaras and use multiple mascaras in like one makeup session, if you will, so that I can get some mascaras I like better for length, some I like better for lash or for volume, some I like better on my lower lash line, etc. But typically I have much more than 10 mascaras, and no matter what, when a mascara reaches the 4-month mark for me, I just count it as an empty. But I do have 2 of the Maybelline Sky High mascaras. I do really like this mascara for length. I think it is such a good one for length. It also does a really nice job of separating the lashes, and I really enjoyed this. I'm going to be on a mascara no-buy again in 2023 just because I have so many mascaras. You're always getting free mascara, so I just don't feel like I need to be buying mascara. But I do like that one. I also have the e.l.f., 2 of the e.l.f. Big Moods. They actually sent both of these to me, and I really enjoyed this one as well. This one has a really big wand on it. And it's just really nice for getting a lot of volume. I really enjoyed this, and I typically actually mix this with the Lash Sensational, but really enjoyed this one from e.l.f. A really good drugstore mascara in my opinion. I finished the Fenty Beauty mascara. I forget what they call it, the Full Frontal Mascara. I was not a huge fan of this one. This one's doe foot is really interesting. I don't know why I'm calling the wand of a mascara a doe foot, but the wand on this one is just really interesting. I didn't love this one. I felt like it transferred on me and it just was not a favorite. Same thing goes for the Milk Rise mascara. This one transferred so badly that I could not even get myself to use this for 4 months. I ended up, it's like pretty much dried out too. This just transferred so badly. It's such a bad mascara, and I actually love the regular Milk mascara, so that was a disappointment. I also have the Essence Bye Bye Panda Eyes. This was fine. I believe this is a tubing mascara if I'm not mistaken. I just did not feel like, so in terms of like waterproof, I felt like this was a great one, but I didn't really feel like this did much for length, volume, or separating my lashes, so it just didn't turn into a favorite. We all know I love the Ilia Limitless mascara. This is like my all-time favorite mascara. I think this is the trifecta of mascaras. It does lengthen my lashes, volumize them, and separate them so nicely. So love the Ilia one. I don't remember the Hourglass Unlocked mascara at all. I feel like this is something that I finished earlier this year, and I I have no recollection of how I felt about this one. So I think I liked it. And then I have this one from Merit, which I actually really liked this one, but I felt like mine dried out rather quickly. I really liked the wand, just kind of basic and simple, but I felt like this one did a lot for length and separation. It was just a nice mascara, not something I personally would repurchase because Merit is more expensive, and I just feel like you can find really great mascaras at the drugstore, and you also just get free mascara all the time. But those were the 10 mascaras I finished in 2022. Moving up, we have one liquid eyeshadow that I finished this year. This was Stila Perlina. This was really beautiful. I did purchase 2 other Stila liquid shadows this year. Wanderlust is one of them, and Kitten something, not Kitten Karma, it's like a different kitten. I also purchased this year, and I've actually really been enjoying them. Although these dry up so quickly, this one dried out, and I ended up having to use a glitter glue and kind of just use it as like a glitter towards the end. But I am really happy that I was able to finish this off and get my money's worth out of it. I have these 2 eyeshadow primers. So I have the Too Faced glitter glue. This is by far the most superior glitter glue I've ever tried. And I will forever repurchase this when I finish the one that I'm currently using. I have one from NYX, I believe. NYX, yes. And then I also, the Milani one is fine, but I really like this one. I know I'm paying a higher price, but I think it's worth it. And then I also finished up the KVD Shake Primer. Definitely an interesting eyeshadow primer. I don't think this one's going to be for everybody, but I actually really enjoyed it, and it's something I would consider picking up again in the future. I have 4 brow products that I finished this year. I do not remember finishing the Glossier Boy Brow this year. I totally forgot about this. This was a favorite brow product for me for so long, but then I discovered the Undone Beauty like dual brow product that has the tinted fibrous brow gel as well as the brow pen, and I just love that product so much, so that's gonna be my forever repurchase. I also really love to start my like eyebrows with a glue of some kind, and I loved the NYX brow glue this year. This is something I definitely will repurchase in the future. Most recently, I've been using the Kosas Airbrow, and I just was not as impressed with that. I don't feel like it does enough to hold my brows in place, so that's not something I would purchase a full size in. And then I did finish up the Fenty Beauty MVP brow, and I actually really liked this brow product. I don't think I would purchase this again just because brow products, brow pencils are so expensive. I feel like I can get something just as good at the drugstore, but I enjoyed using that. I finished up one eyeliner this year, which I also don't remember finishing this, but this is from Milk. It was in the shade Bonus, I believe, or PTO. Bonus. In the shade Bonus, which was a beautiful brown shade. I really enjoyed this, but I feel like the Essence brown eye pencil is $3 and it lasts forever, so I'd rather save my money when I'm purchasing a brown liner and purchase the one from Essence and save my makeup money for other things like eyeshadow palettes. Let's get through my sprays next. I have 10 setting sprays, and I will say I do love a makeup mist. Like, I will bring a mist in my car even, or in my purse, and even if I don't have makeup on, sometimes in the summer I would just mist my face for something refreshing. So these are the 10 mists. I have the Pixie Glow Mist. I've gone through multiple bottles of this. This is really beautiful and glowy. However, it is very easy to go overboard with this one and look too glowy, so take it or leave it. I could see myself purchasing this again in the future, but I feel like I want to try other glow mist for the time being. I also have the e.l.f. Stay All Day Blue Light Micro Fine Setting Mist. This was fine, nothing special in my opinion, wouldn't repurchase it. The MAC Fix Plus will be a forever repurchase. This is my favorite spray for melting my powders, and just even when I try to use something else, it's just, I always come back to the MAC Fix Plus, and it's a favorite, so we'll continue to repurchase that. I do still have another one going in my collection. I have the Makeup Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray. Did not love this. I thought it was going to be like a continuous mist, and it wasn't. It also smelled just like hairspray, and this just wasn't for me. I actually really liked this Tulip Dew Mist. I didn't think it made me look super dewy, but this was a continuous mist, and this was such a refreshing mist. This is one that I brought with me in my purse and just loved having this on hand. I don't exactly know where you can purchase this, but if it's not too expensive, and if it was easily accessible, I could see myself actually purchasing this again. This Glossy Box Skincare Hydrating Mist was a fine hydrating mist, but nothing special. I have this one from CoverGirl. This was the Priming Glow Mist, and I actually really did enjoy this. This was super refreshing and did offer a bit of a glow as well. This is something I would repurchase again. It was obviously from the drugstore, being that it's CoverGirl, and I actually really remember enjoying this. I finished this more towards the beginning of the year, but I kind of forgot about this, and now I'm like, shoot, next time I'm at Target, I feel like I should pick this up again because I really did enjoy this one. I have two Tatcha mists. I have the full size, which I splurged on purchase. I do love this mist. I could see myself potentially purchasing again for like special occasions just to have on hand, but it's not something I need to immediately run out and grab. And then my sister gave me this one because she actually does not like the Tatcha Dewy Mist, and I finished this as well. Such a beautiful luminous dewy mist, but so overpriced for what it is. I feel like I just fly through this, but if I was going on like a special vacation, I would buy this because it just does something to give you the most beautiful healthy glow, and I do really love it. I wish I didn't love that one though. And then finally I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow. This was fine. I don't feel like this offered a glow, but it was similar to the Urban Decay All Nighter in that I do feel like it did something to prolong the makeup time, like the wear time of my makeup. So I also really liked the Benefit Professional, and I think I prefer that one now to the Urban Decay All Nighter. So that is the one I will continue to repurchase for a like true hold setting mist, but I finished this one up earlier this year as well. All right, moving on to this side of the counter, let's go through primer. So I actually have 8 primers that I finished up, which I feel like I finished up less, so I'm happy with this. I forgot that I finished up the Urban Decay Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer this year. I do really like this one. It's a really nice hydrating primer. I love the First Aid Beauty primers. I always recommend them. I could see myself repurchasing this in the future, but I also like testing primers, and sometimes I prefer like a pore filling or gripping primer as opposed to a hydrating primer because I can use a moisturizer as a hydrator. So the jury's out on whether or not I will actually repurchase this, but I do recommend this if you're looking for a great hydrating primer. This combination is my favorite in the summer if I'm not wearing any makeup, but I want to try and match my face to like my self-tanned body. I'll mix in the Tula face filter with the Drunk Elephant Debronzy drops. The Tula face filter, it's a primer that has it's almost like a tinted primer, and it just like blurs the skin out, and it's so beautiful. I do want to repurchase this one and will at some point, probably closer to the springtime. I'd like to get through like 1 or 2 primers before repurchasing this, but this is the next primer on my list of primers to repurchase. And then I will purchase the Debronzy drops from Drunk Elephant again this summer. Again, love this combo. Such a good combination in the summertime, works so well for me. I finished off the Mini Milk Hydro Grip. Not my favorite gripping primer. It's just a little bit too finicky. I have to let this sit for too long before I can go in with makeup. And then sometimes I still have issues with my makeup laying just right. But the LYS Secure Skin Gripping Primer, I thought I didn't like. And then I panned this year and I ended up falling in love with this. I believe this is $18 or $20. And if you're looking for a phenomenal gripping primer, this literally feels like glue on the skin, but in the best way to grip your makeup. I highly recommend this one. Definitely will be a repurchase for me. And then I have the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, by far the best smoothing and pore filling primer I've ever tried or used. When I get through some of my other pore filling primers, this will be my go-to for pore filling. I just feel like there's no need for me to try anything else because this is the best. The Tarte Sea Lotion was fine. I ended up mixing this into a lotion just because I didn't love it as a face primer, but as a body lotion it worked just fine. And then I finished up this little trial size from Chanel. It's the Le Lift Creme, and I don't even really remember my thoughts on this, but nevertheless it's an empty. Okay, up here I have the one singular concealer I finished this year. This is the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. Not a repurchase for me. I love the Kosas concealer as well as the LYS concealer. Those two are just phenomenal and will be forever repurchases for me. So I'm trying to get through my concealer collection. I would love to get through some concealer this year. I'm close to finishing one. I'm hoping to have more than one concealer empty in 2023. I feel like concealer takes me forever to get through. So only one concealer empty this year. Also, only one powder empty this year, which I'm a little bit disappointed in. I hope to have maybe at least 2 next year. But this is the Kosas Cloud Set Powder. Love this. Beautiful baked powder. Will definitely repurchase this in the future after I get through some of the other powders in my collection. It just blurs the skin out. It's super lightweight. Does a nice job of still setting the makeup in place. Makes the skin still look natural. And I loved this so much. Only one bronzer empty this year, and it was a mini. It was also a cream bronzer. It was the Tarte Sea Breezy bronzer. And I absolutely loved this cream bronzer. Now I have way too many bronzers in my collection, but if you're looking for a good cream bronzer, this is a little bit more red based. So I think this is best for the summertime. It's going to give you that like sunburned, like tanned skin sort of look, but I loved using this and it took me forever to go through the mini. So I recommend just the mini, especially if you're just looking to try it out or have a really large makeup collection. I have these 4 mini liquid highlights that I finished this year, and I finished all of these except for this one from Illamasqua. These ones from Marc Jacobs I just ended up mixing in with lotion, but nevertheless I have 4 liquid highlighters. Marc Jacobs isn't even, like, you can't get this anymore, and the Illamasqua one was just so strobing and just too much for me. It was beautiful, but not something I need a full size in or feel the need to go out and purchase. I definitely prefer more of a subtle glow, and I have plenty of those in my collection. I finished one lipstick this year. I forgot about finishing this, but then I was like, oh yeah, I do remember how long it took me to finish the Kaja Earhart. Wouldn't repurchase this. This barely lasted, like, it had no staying power on the lips, and Kaja has way better products. I also finished one lip liner this year. Forgot I finished this year as well, but this is the, I literally can't get this on my lips anymore. I can't sharpen it, so If you're looking, you're like, that's not empty. I literally can't sharpen it anymore. It was from Urban Decay in collaboration with Gwen Stefani. I believe it was in the shade Ex-Girlfriend. Such a beautiful Your Lips But Better shade. Super happy that I finished a lip liner. I actually have 3 liquid lipstick empties from this year. I have this NARS Lip Velvet in the shade American Woman. I finished earlier this year. This is such a dry formula. I hated this. I also have this little mini cream lip stain from Sephora that I loved the shade, but also just too dry for me. And then I have from ColourPop the shade Beeper. I did not take the stopper out of this. Is that correct? Yeah, I didn't take the stopper out of this, but I scraped everything I could out. You can see windowing here. This, so old, but I used so much of this that I was like, I'm calling this an empty. And I don't need to take the stopper out because it's going to be too messy, and no thank you. And then to wrap it up, we have lip gloss and lip balm. So I did finish up 7 lip balms. The Chantecaille, way too overpriced for what it is. Then I have 4 of the Fresh Sugar Minis. I do really like the Fresh Sugar lip treatments, and I purchased the holiday set last year. So I obviously went through quite a few of these. I live in Minnesota, so it's not hard to go through these. Plus, I just feel like it's such a creamy formula. You just kind of fly through it anyway. And then I have a large Sugar Mint Rush, Fresh Sugar Balm. I do think these are a bit overpriced because you go through them so quickly. So I don't know that I'll continue to repurchase them in the future. If the holiday set were on sale, I would say maybe, because I do really like the treatment. I just think it's a little bit overpriced. And then I finished up this Ilia lip conditioner. This was terrible. A terrible product. I don't feel like this made a difference in like conditioning my lips or it made them feel more dry, and it wasn't flattering. So definitely wouldn't repurchase or recommend this product. And then to wrap it up, I have 12 lip glosses that I finished up. I have Rare Beauty, what was this? I have the Rare Beauty Nearly Apricot. I have one other shade that I'm currently getting through, but I would not repurchase this. I do find this formula a little bit annoying on the lips. It's one of those that just feels distracting, and like I constantly need to be like smacking my lips together. The Buxom Lip Shine in Dolly. I just won't purchase the Buxom lip shines in the future because I am in love with the Lawless Forget the Filler, which is such a better alternative in my opinion for a lip plumping gloss. You guys know my thoughts on the Lawless. I'm not going to go on about it, but I did finish up the original Lawless lip filler, and I have so many others of these in my collection. My sister actually got me the 3-pack, the holiday set, for Christmas, and I'm so excited about it. I also have another Buxom lip shine in the shade Erica. I maybe could have scraped a little bit more on the sides, but I swear I did everything I could to get this out. Very happy to have this done. I have one other Buxom lip shine to get through this year, and then I'm done with the Buxom lip shines. I have this one from Patrick Ta. This was in the shade Is She Younger Than Me? I actually really enjoyed this, but I won't repurchase. This is another lip, so I really liked the shade, but I did find the formula, again, a little bit distracting. It just felt a little bit gritty and not my favorite, but very happy that I finished that off. I have 3 mini Fenty gloss bombs. I still have quite a few gloss bombs in my collection. I did take the stopper out of all of these. This one, it got like pushed in. I think it may have gotten pushed in on this one too. So I've like scraped everything I can out, but I love the Lawless gloss bombs. This one in Sweet Mouth is my favorite shade ever, but I don't need to purchase anymore. I have other gloss bombs still in my collection, but if I got through my entire gloss bomb collection, I would at least have Sweet Mouth in my gloss collection. Kopari lip glossy, you guys know I love. I probably will have a lot of Kopari lip glossy empties at the end of 2023. I feel like I have so many half empty Kopari lip glossies right now. Such a beautiful gloss formula, just so comforting on the lips. An all-time favorite gloss formula of mine. You guys know I've gone through so many of these in the past and will continue to repurchase. I finished the Bite Beauty, whatever this one was. I have one other shade of this that I'm trying to get through, but this actually took me forever to get through. I'm so happy to have this as an empty. I have the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline. A thick, sticky formula, won't continue to repurchase that. And then I also have a Jaclyn Cosmetics lip oil. I do have 2 more of these that I recently purchased on sale. I do like this lip oil formula, but I don't think it's worth $20. But then I bought 2 on sale. Nevertheless, those are all of my lip empties and those. And after that, that is my bin of empties, my bin of makeup empties for 2022. Two, I'm so excited already for 2023. This was the first year in a few years that I've had less than 100 makeup empties. I was not doing my makeup nearly as much as usual this past year, but I am really looking forward to 2023 and hoping that I can hit 100 makeup empties this year. I would love to know how many makeup empties you guys had in 2022. What was your most exciting makeup empty? Let me know in the comments. Other than that, thanks so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video.